True or false? Sometimes the WWE just delivers up the biggest stinker of a ring name you've ever heard in your entire life. Now, in order to demonstrate this, I have made a brief list.
You just made the list!
Braden Walker, Butch, Shorty G, The Viking Experience, Nikki ASH, Dewdrop, Commander Aziz, Cassius Ono, Keith Bearcat Lee, Theory, Marcus Corvan, Tatum Paxley, Harland, Lord Tensai, Skip Sheffield, Derek Bateman, Katana Chance, Slapjack, T-Bar, JD McDonough, and JC Mateo. May I have a water, please? But there are some times that they got it spot on. And today I'm gonna sling 10 of those your way. Whether they came with a name from the indies and were forced to put in a new one at Ellis Island, aka the Performance Center, or they were already in the WWE system and got a name change, one way or another, all these 10 name changes kind of worked. So let's kick it off. Number 10, Chavo Guerrero to Kerwin White. I'm just kidding. Okay, sorry. Number 10, Tyler Black to Seth Rollins. All right, so this one was freaking weird at first. After paving a path in Ring of Honor, Tyler Black got the call to head to WWE's NXT brand, and he'd eventually become the first NXT champion. He would do it though under the name Seth Rollins. A pretty sensationally regular name, Seth Rollins is. But although the name sounds as bland as a bread sandwich, Seth Rollins was inspired by Henry Rollins, who was once the frontman of popular punk band Black Flag. I know they're popular, by the way, because I see their shirts in Target, so okay. Additionally, in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, Rollins confirmed that the freakin' that got jammed into Seth freaking Rollins was in fact a Vince McMahon idea. And in my opinion, wasn't a bad idea at all. Number 9. Walter to Gunther. Okay, so before you throw the tomatoes, I think we can all agree that Walter is a pretty weird name, but this man, real name Walter Hahn, made it entirely his own. Walter was the name of a big Austrian boy who would slap the chest off you, especially if your name was Tyler Bate and you were smaller than my mother. But after getting called to the main roster from a dominant run in NXT UK, his name was flipped to Gunther, which sounds dumb as hell without an Austro-German pronunciation flair to it. Gunther. People were not happy about this at first, but just a reminder that this guy got the name Walter over, and he did the same thing over time with Gunther. Number 8, Michael McGillicuddy to Curtis Axel. Now, neither of these are exactly Stone Cold Steve Austin, but goddamn if Michael McGillicuddy is the worst ring name that I've ever heard, even worse than Shorty G. At least that one elicits some kind of emotional reaction. Michael McGillicuddy, it's just nothing. Michael McGillicuddy debuted as part of the new Nexus in 2010, led by CM Punk. After a brief run with the tag titles with David Otunga, though, he disappeared when the Nexus fizzled and reappeared as Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman. Pretty big for him. And the Curtis Axel name was taken from a combo of his dad, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and his grandfather, Larry the Axe Hennig. Pretty cool name. You know what wasn't cool though? His whole career. I think he's also still in the 2013 Royal Rumble or something and never got eliminated. Maybe it was that one, maybe it was a different year, but he's still in it. And side note, I always thought the name would be better as Kurt Axel, but maybe that's just too close to Kurt Angle, so they didn't want to do it, but I think that sounds a little better. Number 7, Husky Harris to Bray Wyatt. This one was pretty obvious to me. Despite WWE's love of alliteration, Husky Harris just sounded like a weird joke for what would be one of the most captivating wrestlers of the mid-2010s and beyond. And Husky Harris, thankfully, didn't last long before he went back to NXT. And the debut of Bray Wyatt came along with the Wyatt family in the summer of 2013, but not before Bray got some reps in NXT under his new name. Bray Wyatt was a perfect name for a cult leader, the new face of fear and the maestro of the Firefly Funhouse. Rest in peace. Number 6, Tommy End to Aleister Black. Now, Tommy End isn't a bad name at all. In fact, I might prefer it to Aleister Black depending on the day you ask me. I don't prefer it today. However, this name change, if not an upgrade, was at the very least a comparable name to Tommy End. Now, as for why the name changed, well, it might have had something to do with WWE being PG and, well, this chant. The Aleister Black name worked so well, though, that he would keep the Black last name debuting as Malachi Black in AEW, which was okay, I guess. Malachi, whatever. But Aleister Black feels right for him. Even if he can't be Tommy End, Aleister Black is a great follow-up and a blank slate for a new creepy character with a single blue contact lens. Number 5, Jasmine to Jazz. Now, this is one you might have not been expecting so much, but yes, a quick shorten of the name can sometimes do wonders, in my opinion. Foreshadowing for later, wink, wink, wink. Jazz went by Jasmine from her major promotion debut in ECW, but upon her first day in WWE at Survivor Series 2001, Jazz was born. Jazz came up short at Survivor Series in a six-pack challenge, but she made quite the impact. She's got those big-ass muscles. And a part of that, aside from her insanely huge could crush my pea skull muscles, was a simple but effective name change. It's a great name. Jazz is a great name.
You like jazz?
Number 4, Alexander Rusev. Look at that, another name shortening that didn't make me angry. Taking the Alexander away from Alexander Rusev made this man sound more like an absolute killer. The change came in May 2014. At the time, Rusev got his gimmick slightly shifted by creative from being an angry Bulgarian man to being, quote, the hero of the Russian Federation. The Rusev name change was so effective that he would even keep the one-word name format as Miro over in AEW for a few years there. So the one-word name works sometimes, guys. I will die on a hill for Antonio Cesaro, though. I thought that was really good. I don't know why. Can't explain it. Number 3, Adam Copeland, Adam Impact, Sexton Hardcastle, and Damon Stryker to Edge. Even when the man is in AEW as Adam Copeland right now, it's pretty hard to call him anything other than Edge. He became Edge when he debuted for the WWE in 1998, but before then, he went by a litany of names. Sexton Hardcastle, anybody? He would ditch all those weird names, though, along with current-day NXT name contender Dalton Stryker in WCW, to don the name Edge for his entire WWE tenure. Number 2, Rocky Maivia to The Rock. The last name shortening on this list is perhaps the biggest in WWE history. Rocky Maivia technically debuted on November 4th, 1996 as part of Mark Merrow's entourage on Raw, which is a crazy sentence, but he later made his actual debut at Survivor Series on November 17th, 1996. Regardless, he was still being billed as Rocky Maivia into 1998, even after turning heel and joining the Nation of Domination. It was a gradual change that happened along with his character, and by 1998, he was billed fully and completely as The Rock. Then he would become Dwayne Johnson in like a few movies, I guess. And number 1, the Ringmaster to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And if you saw this one coming,
Give me a hell yeah!
One of the most iconic names in wrestling history, Stone Cold Steve Austin, came after Austin made his way to the WWE. Austin first debuted in 1995 as the Ringmaster. No wonder that didn't work. His stunning Steve Austin name pre-WWE was way better, and of course he wasn't all too happy about the Ringmaster persona. Soon after his debut, though, in 1996, Steve got wiser and shaved his head, put on some black trunks, and became Stone Cold Steve Austin. After
I drank a beer!
The Bald Bludgeoneer would win the 1996 King of the Ring tournament, and the rest is history with tons of beer. So there you have it, 10 name changes that didn't make me want to claw my eyes out. Fancy that. Instead, these 10 name changes actually helped the subject get over more than they were before or don a completely new identity. But in reality, no matter how much of a wet towel a name might be, someone like Gunther can defy the odds if they make it their own. So when you're shitting all over the next crop of WWE name changes, remember that maybe 5% of them might work out, except JC Mateo. That shit's dumb. Look what they did to my boy Jeff. Anywho, hope you had fun today. Hope you liked the video. And on your way out, give me a...
I wake up every morning, can't wait to embrace the day. I take